The governor acknowledged what he called decades of pain and anguish. How does a community so angry, so hurting, how would community leaders even begin to try to calm tensions?
Well, it's tough. As you know, I was very close friends with Prince, who was from Minneapolis, from the Twin Cities area, never abandoned that small part of the world, did all of his great work from there. And so I spent a lot of time in Minneapolis, and the situation between that police department and the very small black community there is atrocious and has been atrocious. There is a long-standing fear in the black community that there are active white supremacist elements in that department. To give you a sense of how much tension there is, the bus drivers in that town are refusing police orders to move protesters because the bus drivers with ties to the black community are that mad at the police that they won't even transport. These are the kinds of things that I'm hearing from people on the ground. And so it's a deep, deep wound. And I think that the problem is simply this. If you speak up and you're not heard, you might yell. If you yell and you're not heard, then you might scream. If you scream and you're not heard, then you might throw something. And what's happening is you've gotten now an escalation of frustration, so that now you're at the point where in order to even be seen as believable in complaining about this department, you have to have an 8-minute videotaped lynching of a man. And so the level of frustration is very, very high. And what I think needs to happen is a couple of things. The mental health, therapy, counseling, we need to get that in large numbers, moving. The healing part has to happen, but you can't have healing before you have some kind of catharsis. And so people are willing to not only risk arrest, they're risking their lives to protest in a pandemic. They're protesting in the middle of a plague. That's how much pain there is. And so that needs to be given expression, not destroying property, but given expression and respected. And then there needs to be some healing rushed in there. And then for the white community, this is a great opportunity to talk to your children about the history and the present reality of racism. You do not have a society that have this kind of thing happen at this level without it being a very long series of dominoes that have been falling that we have not attended to properly. And so by the time people are yelling and screaming and burning stuff, and we don't even know who's setting these fires, that's the reaction to inaction for too long.